Hi fans of high quality entertainment. So today I'm going to show you 2 or 3 new CDs I've got recently, and I'm waiting for Spark's new CD Mad. It should be here probably later today, and then I'll probably do a review in a few days on it. I also wanted to mention yesterday I did a kind of a joke video, Top 10 Worst Bands. I mainly did it for my regular viewers because I knew that, about halfway through my viewers would realize it's just a joke video. But of course, not everybody is familiar with my channel. So I did feel a little guilty that some people took the whole video seriously and I would have to reply. But it's just fun to do, and when I was doing it, usually I have no problem acting serious, but in that video I almost broke up laughing a time or two. But anyway, it was a joke. I'm not a fan of Nickelback, Bon Jovi, and I really don't care for Emerson, Lake and Palmer these days, but the other 7 bands I mentioned I love. So let's get that out of the way. So the other day when I was interviewing Richie Castellano about this album and Blue Oyster Cult, he mentioned, well, first one thing he mentioned was this Yes album, Talk, is his favorite album of all time. And I really do like this album. It's not my favorite, but when he said that, and I hadn't heard this in a few months, I played it just to see, if I've changed my opinion on it, and I haven't. I think it's a very good album. My favorite song is the final one, Endless Dream. But there is some great music on this, but I just have other Yes albums that I love even more. But it's, cool. And I did see on his Facebook page, one of his fans responded, kind of criticizing him for having this Yes album as his favorite. You just can't win with your own opinion. And he also mentioned, before I get into my new CDs here, well, this is a new CD, but he mentioned this near the end of the interview. He asked me if I'd heard Trevor Rabin, who was in Yes at one point, and his album, Real, his latest album. And I said no. And he said, it is awesome. Check it out. And so I checked it out on Spotify. I only played, I think, the first 2 songs, and I ordered it. So it comes with a little mini hype sticker. There, I saved the hype sticker. So there it is. And Glenn Kellaway and I are going to be doing finally our album reviews probably on Monday. And I'm thinking, I want to listen to this whole album first, but I'm thinking of possibly giving this to Glenn to listen to. Here's Trevor. So if you have heard this album, let me know what you think of it. Comes with the lyrics. Trevor looks pretty serious there. There, he's smiling. Yeah, very nice booklet. So looking forward to hearing that tonight, along with my new Sparks album. And I already, I think I mentioned this on my other channel, but in one of our earlier CD exchanges with Glenn, he gave me this album, and I've said this to, a few albums, and then some I get and some I still haven't bought yet, either because of the price or they're hard to get or whatever. But I finally got the debut album by Blood, Sweat and Tears, and it is so good. Of course, it's with Al Cooper, his one and only album with Blood, Sweat and Tears. Yeah, it's like, it's in my CD player. It jazz, rock, psychedelic rock, more experimental than the more commercial later Blood, Sweat and Tears. Nice booklet. Okay, as you know, I'm still planning to depart with some of my CDs, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop buying CDs. I'm just going to be more thoughtful. I'm going to think twice before I order anything. But anyway, as you know, I'm a huge fan of Paul McCartney. He's my favorite solo artist. And for the archive editions, I've got McCartney 2, which I love. I've got Venus and Mars, which I love. I've got McCartney, which I love. Oh, this is a heavy one. Red Rose Speedway, which I feel is a very underrated album. And the biggest of the box sets, Ram. And some of the other box sets I didn't get, I just got the regular editions, which have at least, I think they have 2 CDs and sometimes a DVD. So I've got Band on the Run, which is 2 CDs and a DVD. I have Wings Over America. I have Wings Wildlife, which is 2 CDs. Pipes of Peace, one of my least favorite Paul McCartney albums, but it's staying in my collection. 2 CDs, Flaming Pie, 2 CDs, and Flowers in the Dirt. And, I've got all of his other albums in here. The only one I'm missing is Back to the A. I keep hoping, it's going to be part of the archive edition, remastered and everything, so that's the only one I'm missing. I'll probably, maybe get it sometime in the next year or so if we don't hear any more news about more of the archive editions. And the only box set, the only one that I ever sold, and I actually don't regret selling it, because I guess at the time I needed the extra cash, but my problem was replacing it with, one of the regular edition archive editions. And I finally did, and it took a couple of months for it to come in. Wings at the Speed of Sound. It's a very good album. It's not one of my favorites, but it's got some great songs on it, of course. So let's open this up. And it's just the remastered CD. There's no bonus tracks. I'm not a big fan, for the most part, of bonus tracks on albums, unless, the Beatles. There it is. You listen to the bonus tracks once or twice, and that's about it. Comes with the booklet, the lyrics. Yeah. Let 'Em In, one of my favorite Paul McCartney songs. The Note You Never Wrote is awesome. She's My Baby, Beware My Love. It's all, all really good songs. Wino Junko, silly love songs. Even Cook of the House. It's a silly song, but I know some people hate it, but I think it's kind of just a throwaway song. It's kind of cute. And then Warm and Beautiful, Must Do Something About It, with vocals by Joe English. Very good album. I would give it probably like a 8 out of 10. So that is it. Hope everybody has a great day. Please remember to check out my Patreon for full song and album reactions. I got hundreds of reactions there. And also check out my Buy Me a Coffee for support. Thank you. Bye.